Damien White's pretty fired up. He suffered some bruised shins in that incident as well. His legs hitting the dash. The series leader. This will be a championship-changing race. Craig Baird joins us in the commentary box as well. We're under lights and underway on the streets of Surfers Paradise. This is the reverse grid as well, and already there's been contact, Cameron McConville.
Yeah, there was a touch back in around about 10th position there. And there's another one in the chicane. Alan Grice has collected the inside of the curb, whipped the steering wheel out of his hands, but Beardo, it's pretty difficult in these conditions around here, and these guys...
Race 1 and 2, Pither was involved in a start line crash in the opening race. The 18-year-old Kiwi is back in the battle here though.
Not a lot of grip.
This is coming off Asa Corner onto the back straight. And right now, young Ryal Harris, who entered this round just a small amount of points behind Marcus Zukanovic. This is going to be good. The youngster from the Gold Coast, this is good, Cam, for his championship bid. Very
impressive considering he hadn't actually raced on this particular circuit at all before. So he's got James Moffat there just chasing him down. Moffat got a reasonably good start considering that bit of...
Set for racing to resume here. Young Ryal Harris, 19 years of age, hails from the Gold Coast. A lot of confidence following his 2 race victories and a podium finish in the last round of the series in Melbourne. Look at that rain though.
That's going to make things really, really slippery, and you already heard about the wet race earlier in the weekend, and on a street circuit, Beardo, with painted lines, and this is just a little bit amount of drizzle. It's about as worse as you can ever imagine.
Getting worse, and the guys who don't necessarily have a lot of experience at this circuit, despite the fact that they'll be aquaplaning their way around, are doing a terrific job. Ryal Harris and of course James Moffat. Moffat's never raced here before either. Look at it. Look at the rain now.
Yeah, you really have to rely on your team on the radio saying, you know, they'll be looking at the monitors that it's wet at certain parts of the track and that it's dry in others, but it's starting to really settle in now.
It sure is. Ryal Harris leads the way as they venture off the back straight through the Bartercard chicane. James Moffat in tow. And one of the Kangaloota's entries, Rod Wilson, who was certainly the quick man in qualifying, Cameron.
He was on pole and he's been doing a pretty good job in qualifying of late. Sandown, very good speed, but just not quite getting in the top 3 for the round result. He wasn't too competitive in the wet. He slid back a little bit, but in the dries, he's certainly been in the top 5. So Rod's been very consistent in the championship, but qualifying's been a real standout for him.
Some fantastic news for the category emerged at this round. They will be heading to Manfield in New Zealand for a bit of a Trans-Tasman battle in February, and all the competitors looking forward to that.
You might be able to pick up a Guernsey over there, Beardo, in your hometown, if you happen to be in town there.
Well, you never know, mate. It's the off-season for us, so be a bit of fun, get a few of the supercar drivers out there bashing these things around.
Moffat has closed a little on Harris as they run home. Look at Alan Grice. It is teeming down on the Gold Coast now. Kim Jane making his way through. Harris should put this one safely in the bag. He said in the build-up to this round he wanted to keep that momentum going. There were no excuses and no reason why he couldn't stay in the winner's circle. Good way to go about it.
Very impressive effort in these conditions, not to make a mistake all race. Quite well done.
Yeah, same story for James Moffat, and it's little wonder that the Dick Johnson Racing team have their eye on this bloke.
James, second place. I guess conditions don't come too much tougher than that.
No, exactly right. Not only was it at night, but we got rain halfway through the race, and even then it was only raining sort of on the back half of the track where it really wasn't lit up that well, so it was really hard to tell how wet it actually was. But in the end, great result for Trend and Ford and DJR. We had a little drama there with the gearbox that sort of slowed us back, and otherwise I think I might have been able to give Ryal something for his money. But, you know, congratulations to him. He didn't make any mistakes, and just looking forward to tomorrow now.
The second half of the season's been really a great progression for you.
Yeah, well, that's just a matter of me getting up to speed, and like every lap I do in the car, I get more experience, and that's just, you know, that's just me getting up to speed. It's nothing to do with the car or anything. And it's just momentum. I'm just building on it and putting a lot of pressure on myself.
South Africa-Australia game in Perth, the rugby union match, so he's only jetted in for the morning. He's actually had a few laps coaching from Gary Baxter, who's an advanced driving instructor around this place, said he's feeling a whole lot better for him.
Yeah, he's going to... He went
been unfortunate for Macca, but he'll fire back out later in this one.
Oh, look how busy it is here. This is behind Griffin. There's White, Jane, Baxter, and now Ryal Harris and the DBA Brakes Team Brock prepared entry. Interestingly enough, too, West Aussie Kerry Wade was the fastest forward in qualifying, but blew the motor. They tend to go fast before they go bang, and unfortunately, he hadn't got a spare. He's watching as a spectator this weekend.
Good move by Harris up the inside. I think Dave Griffin was paying more attention to Damien White on the outside, and Harris slipped up the inside as we're on board here with Baxter and having a look at White.
Billy Nudgell in New South Wales.
Now, new lap record, guys, too, and it's actually Ryal Harris, the man on screen there, at 121.6 on lap 5 of this race, so that's not hanging about. Very impressive speed, so perhaps had a little bit of clear track coming through, Garth, to get the pace.
Oh, it's Simon.
Become a Red V member entry, trying his best. Look at Elsgood weaving in behind Zekanovic, very defensive.
Very defensive because there's only 2 corners to go. Zekanovic, a clean drive, a straight ute. He's entitled to block the line there and he doesn't want to lose this one. Elsgood is charging as well as Harris in the background. We saw a lap record. Well done. Headlights ablaze. Zekanovic takes out race 2 here in round 5 at Mallala. Second to Elsgood. And look, Griffin there with the front hanging off that car.
We've got a lot of pace this weekend and brakes are real good. As you know, people would have saw then I was passing people and very well into the corners, so it's obviously with DBA as my sponsor, you know, pretty good to have brakes in the car, so, but without them, you know, I wouldn't have had anything this year.
What about the girls over your back shoulder? Have they helped you get through the year?
Yeah, they have actually. Handing out posters and stuff, it's been good for the sponsors. That's what, you know, that's what DBA are there, they market their product and it's the right sort of crowd for it. But also like the opportunity to thank my dad for all his help and stuff. Without him, I could, you know, I wouldn't be here at all.
Earlier too, Garth, that here, pole position being on the inside is a little bit of an advantage sometimes. Now, let's just go out the back. Alan Simonson is still dicing with Ryal Harris. This has gone right from the start. The headlights ablaze from Grant Johnson in the background too, so they're going to arrive, I reckon, possibly 3 wide at the hairpin.
No good can come of this, Garth.
Well, hairpin is always plenty of action down there, as we see Johnson just getting to the side of Simonson and maybe just giving Simonson a bit of his own medicine. And Ryal Harris and both he and Johnson through at the hairpin. Good move. And Harris was one of the fast men from the first race, and in this one, Grant Johnson's on the move.
That will actually narrow the gap in the championship for him. Simonson 4th there, Buller 7th, down to Chris Pither inside the top.